It's the 31st season of the Coca-Cola Red Zone. Tune in each and every Friday night at 8 to 11 right here on the Talk Monster for the best high school football coverage in the universe. Kurt and Natalie will anchor our coverage from the studio, and Jeff, Cate, and Justin Sims will be at our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week. You can call in for scores on the Warren and Griffin hotline at 267-1023 and look tight every Friday night with a haircut from Great Clips. Friday nights, 8 to 11, the Coca-Cola Red Zone. High school football coverage that is unmatched on Talk 102.3 WGOW.
Thank you so much to all of our friends at Coca-Cola who make this happen. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much to Warren and Griffin, who bring us the Warren and Griffin hotline, as every week Jeff and Justin will update you from that hotline. And the Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, they bring you our Game of the Week. Kurt Tucker and Natalie on hand across the glass from me. We'll be taking you home here in this final hour. And, of course, we have got a little something different this year on the Coca-Cola Red Zone, as we are going to go out to Jeff, Cate, and Justin Sims on location. Jeff and Justin, take it away, boys.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week right here on the Coca-Cola Red Zone. As Kurt said, I want to thank Warren and Griffin, Coca-Cola, and the Center for Sports Medicine for being supporters of the program and high school football across the area in general. As Kurt mentioned, we are going to do something different this year, Justin Sims, from our Game of the Week. We're going to be doing a 1 hour, what we're going to call Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, and the goal is to almost make it like a post-game show type feel. You talk to the players that gave it their all on the field, and maybe the winning head coach that kind of helped put the plan together. But we want to thank 12 Point Logistics for helping us put this together. If you're looking for a local company to move your product around as a business owner, 12 Point Logistics is an asset-based third-party logistics company changing the way product gets moved in Freight Alley, which is Chattanooga, Tennessee. They treat their carriers and shippers how they like to be treated, like people. When you work with 12 Point Logistics, you can expect them to go the extra mile, making sure your product is transferred securely. In addition to receiving better value and exceptional customer service, you can visit them online at 12pointlogistics.com or give Gunnar Miller and his team a call at 423-813-3424. And as we know, Gunnar Miller was just like, all these athletes we've seen, gave it his all for East Ridge back in the day and the Chattanooga Mocs as well. So I want to thank 12 Point Logistics and Gunnar Miller and his team for helping be a part of this Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime right here on the Talk Monster. And we are pleased to be joined by Josiah Featherstone of the Red Bank Lions, part of that 24-8 victory over Tyner here at Red Bank Community Stadium. And Josiah, thank you for making the time, brother, to come down here and talk with us. Congrats on the win. Kind of tell us, you had a pretty good night, a touchdown, and I think 100-plus yards rushing, so a good way to start your season.
Thank you. And it feels real good. The coaches had us game plan all week, watch film. We came out ready to play, and we did our thing.
All right, Josiah, any extra motivation if another team comes out and stomps on your midfield logo, or do you need any extra motivation when you're running up against the Tyner Rams there?
I ain't need no motivation. After I seen that, it gave me all I needed.
Yeah, we've been hearing your name around here for a long time. You kind of step into a senior role, maybe more of a leadership role. Kind of how have you taken that on? And offense versus defense, which one do you prefer?
I prefer defense.
Okay.
And taking the leadership, I ain't really talk much, but I can show these guys what toughness and what effort looks like. And when I show that, everybody wants to do it on the team, and I just bring the best out of my teammates.
For sure. Justin mentioned, you being the leader on this team, a lot of upperclassmen, a lot of senior leadership, to kind of help lead this team. You had a great season last year. I know the playoffs didn't go the way you wanted to, but still a great season. Kind of talk about just how you guys kind of came together over the summer, kind of getting ready, because I'm sure you guys knew that this could be a very special season right here for you guys here at Red Bank.
We came in the summer ready to go, and the mentality was we're going to state, and that was our mentality the whole summer and coming in right now to do our thing.
So what's it like having, you talk about seniors, talk about, a senior, like Logan McGinnis, a senior quarterback, plenty of experience that's able to kind of throw the ball across the yard and kind of take the pressure off of you in the running game a little bit.
It feels good, to be honest. And like Logan, he hurt his shoulder, but, he came in the summer, he was ready to recover and do his thing.
And talk about like positions coaches like this guy. You see him pregame. Justin, you saw him as well. Coach Davis here. You kind of getting the guys motivated for sure, huh?
Oh, absolutely. We have a lot of good back and forth with Coach Davis, and I can imagine having him on the staff up here, being a former Lion himself. And
Coach Davis, why are you here specifically? You want to fill the audience in why you're here?
Yeah, man. So we got this running thing with Jim here, man. He picks against us every week.
That's Justin Sims, folks.
Okay.
You know, just a little fun and giving a little bits. But while I got the mic, I want to tell everybody, first of all, it's glory to God for winning this game tonight and putting us back in this position. And I'm just blessed to be able to coach some good kids and good players like Josiah and Logan and Marquis Cutcher.
Well, Justin mentioned you're a Red Bank guy. You're back here
yes, sir.
On the sideline. How did it feel being back here? Because you have family connections here with you as well for this first night here.
Well, man, felt good. I had a lot of family. Actually, I probably took 30 minutes to take pictures after the game because I had so much family. And can't leave Oliver out while he's standing right here. He played a good game, and he cramped up. But it's always good, man. All week I've actually had a rough couple months mentally coming from last year, and just telling everybody put their faith in God, man. And when your village shows up like that, it's sweet. It's a sweet feeling. It's a bittersweet feeling to be here and let these guys know that we're going to be a brotherhood for life.
You're listening to the Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics right here on Talk 102.3. Again, Red Bank got the win over Tyner 24-8 in our Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week. And, we asked Josiah this about, him being part of this leadership group here at Red Bank. Kind of talk about that from a coaching perspective and knowing that, hey, we can rely on these upperclassmen, these seniors to help lead. And, we don't have to, yell and scream as much. We know that these guys are going to hold each other accountable.
Well, man, just to piggyback off him, man, he's not really a talker. I mean, I'm just being serious, man, but the guy stays out to practice. He runs an extra sprint every day. I mean, this guy, I tell him take days off, and then he goes and works out 2 times. And it's like you tell him don't do it, and he's going to go do it. He wants to do the work. He's put in the work. I've seen Josiah for 3 years. Obviously, I was at Udowa with him for his sophomore year.
Okay.
Just seeing him from sophomore to senior year do this just amazing. I mean, and he's going to go so many places that he want to go because he's just a hard worker. He puts his nose down. He doesn't really talk, and he's just going to do the work.
All right, Josiah, talk about your backfield mate, Olivir Merritt. Kind of a 1-2 punch back there, a kind of, thunder and lightning. Just talk about having a partner back there in the backfield. And you, Coach, what's it like, having these guys to call on in the backfield as well?
It feels good to have Olivir Merritt back there. He's like a bowling ball for me, and I'm lightning. He can get the first down whenever I'm tired, and I can get the touchdown, or he can get the touchdown. Either way, I love him.
There ain't nothing more. Couldn't be more motivating than that run he had down the thing, dragging guys across the goal line there. It was a tough run, and it was a nasty 1-2 punch them Lions got in the backfield.
Well, I'll just tell you this. I hear y'all say 1-2 punch. Don't leave out Jacoby Sally, number 24. We played his butt off tonight. We actually didn't even put Marquis Crutcher at running back, so we actually got a four running back punch. And my goal this year is I told Josiah 3K. I told Oliver 1,500. So I want Jacoby, Sally, and Marquis to run for 1,000 yards too. If we can have 4 backs running for 1,000 yards, that'll be a good year and hard to stop.
Yeah, for sure. Is Oliver, you want to come talk to us a little bit? No? Okay.
Come on in, Oliver.
Come on in. Got Olivir Merritt jumping in here on the conversation right here, part of that Red Bank onslaught there that helped get the 24-8 victory over Tyner tonight, and big win on opening night, huh?
Yep.
How you doing, Olivir? You little cramps in the game there? You doing all right, though, health-wise?
Man, we would have put up 50 on them if we both ain't cramped.
Okay. Well, we saw the pickle juice over there. Was that not working?
Nothing was working. I couldn't even get back in the game.
So how hard is it to? I mean, I don't know how big of a pickle fan you guys are, but just like you can just see it, and you're just like, man. You see the videos of like people just their faces puckering up, whether it's eating the mustard or the pickle juice. Which one's easier to take when the cramps going, pickle juice or mustard?
I mean, it's not. You just got to take it.
I think it's the pickle juice.
Pickle juice, all right.
How quick does the pickle juice work? I don't know. It seems like
it ain't work. It ain't
work as quick as we wanted it to.
That's good. So what's it like when the team kind of brings in another quarterback and he finds some success against you guys? Is it kind of this is on me, or this is on just a guy out there playing kind of a different level?
I feel like it's the whole team. It's not just the quarterback. But Logan McGinnis, he wants it. He wants it bad. He wants to go all the way. So we got to stay focused to help him achieve that goal.
Okay, we asked Josiah this. Kind of talk about just you and Josiah being a part of this leadership group. Kind of you guys going to war with each other and knowing that hey, the coaches are there to lead us, but we're going to hold each other accountable on the field as well.
You say that again.
You can say that again.
I was just saying, to talk about kind of the we asked Josiah about, being a leader and kind of like, okay, the coaches don't have to hold us accountable. We're going to hold each other accountable and knowing that, we're going to be able to, lead these underclassmen and help do what we got to do to get big wins on the field here for the Lions.
We just got to get people in practice to get us a show or like
our scout team.
Yeah, scout team.
Talk a little bit about that run, Oliver. You kind of broke it out to the right side and kind of carried a guy down to the goal line. Just a little kind of break down that play for us a little bit.
Yeah, I think you need to get in the weight room for real.
Carried him a few yards.
But after I did that, I almost caught a full body cramp. Then it's that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you guys got the big win. Obviously, you went back-to-back on Tyner. You got another big game against Ray County. That's going to be a physical football team. New coaching staff, so a lot of unknowns. It may not be the same team you saw last year up at Ray County, but you get them here. Kind of talk about you guys definitely enjoying the moment here tonight. But I guess sometime first thing tomorrow morning, it's on to Ray County for sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And it's really Sunday. Like tomorrow we got to get our heads right and focus and mentally prepare for what's coming up next. It's going to be difficult, and we're going to come out and play our best.
What about this road environment y'all playing in today? A little bit different, playing on the road here?
A lot of people is here. Yeah. Next week they need to be here too.
All right.
You heard it from him. Olivir Merritt is calling you out, Red Bank. Come back and fill the stands like you get. Yeah, because you could see like pregame it was a slow moving crowd, but come first quarter early in the second it was packed on both sides. It was great to see, Justin.
Yeah, I think the heat was a little bit of a factor, and the sun kind of sitting in here in the stadium, but it filled in good. And yeah, get out here. You got a heck of a show in this Lions backfield, and it's going to be a fun team to watch. And we appreciate you guys for taking the time to come out, and we will be tracking you all for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Justin, anything else? Like we said, we saw just these two guys in Red Bank kind of doing kind of what we expected. It was a lot closer, like we mentioned, than last year, but I think it's going to be a special season here for Red Bank for sure. Yeah,
kind of like I was saying, two very evenly matched teams. I think the edge was a little bit of toughness, a little bit of discipline on the Red Bank side, and again, no shocker, Coach Gatewood coach team's always going to be disciplined and have a little bit of a toughness to them. And I think that was the edge tonight. I do expect this Tyner team to have significant wins this year. That's a good team. Finding some success with that backup quarterback late may help this offense out, a young offense. But big up front on both ends. This Tyner team is going to be just fine. I think they're going to make some waves in their region, make it to the playoffs again. And, again, such a crazy story. You're playing a home game here at Red Bank. They've got home games, quote-unquote, at Ooltewah. So to think about what those seniors have in it for Tyner, where they've had no school, no stadium for a couple of years now, just going through a lot, but they're a good team, and they're making progress. And Coach Maynard, you can tell, has got this team where they need to be to compete with their region and make it to the playoffs.
We mentioned here, with Red Bank's winning, obviously 1-0 in the season, hosting Ray County next week, and for Tyner, they're hitting the road and going to take on a Bradley Central team that dropped their first game last night against McMinn County. So a lot of good storylines there as well. You're thinking, okay, who's going to what streak's going to be broken? Who's going to get their first win next week? And Bradley lost a lot, like we mentioned on Off the Bench Radio on Tuesday nights right here on Talk 102.3. Just obviously guys like Boo Carter, Gorey Jr., and obviously Caleb Martin. That's three big, huge pieces, a part of your team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So you definitely show that there was a few things to work out there for the Bears, but definitely a good opportunity for them. And going up against a Tyner team, like you said, that has some good athletes, and see what they do at the quarterback position too.
Yeah, like I said, Bradley bringing back 4 starters from last year's team. A lot of really good depth, a lot of good talent on that team, just guys we haven't heard of yet because they don't have the experience. There's a very experienced Tyner team, even though it's a big size difference in classification. I would not be surprised if Tyner goes and pulls the win there against a Bradley Bears team. That's it's going to be good, but with those kind of depth issues and the way that Tyner's so experienced up front, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams get a big win there next week at Bradley.
Man, it's kind of eerie inside the stadium now, isn't it? You can hear over the through our headsets here. It's just eerily quiet. It's kind of peaceful at the same time, because just not even an hour ago it was just rambunctious on both sides of the stadium here at Red Bank Community Stadium. So we're going to go ahead and throw it back to the studio and take our first commercial break of this hour of the Coca-Cola Red Zone and Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics. And on the other side of the break, we're hopefully be joined soon by winning head coach of the Red Bank Lions. That is Ted Gatewood. So we're going to throw it back to the studio again. Final score from our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week was Red Bank 24 and Tyner 8.
All right, Jeff, Justin, appreciate it. Great job there. Congratulations to the Red Bank Lions. 267-1023, call or text. We'll hit some phone calls when we come back. We'll give some updates, and then we'll head back to Jeff and Justin at our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week, WGOW. But we'll head back out now on site, on scene, to Jeff and Justin at our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. And back here at Red Bank Community Stadium, again, final score from our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week right here on the Coca-Cola Red Zone, year 31. Red Bank 24, Tyner 8 on opening night 2024. And we are now joined by the victorious head coach of the Red Bank Lions, and that is Ted Gatewood. And Coach Gatewood, thank you so much, first of all, for coming down here at almost 10:30 at night, right after a big win. But anytime we can talk after a win, it's a good thing, huh?
Absolutely. I never will turn it down, and I always relish it.
We appreciate it. So appreciate you being the first winning head coach on this new edition of the Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics. So kind of our post-game twist to this final hour of the Red Zone. So you've been a part of a lot of our Red Zone Game of the Weeks, over the years, from with whether it's Ooltewah, East Hamilton, or here at your alma mater at Red Bank. So kind of talk about your team's performance tonight, and just the overall performance there, and tough physical football game. But I think you were kind of expecting that with both athletes on both sides of the ball for both teams, for sure.
Well, absolutely, and let me just say this: thank you to WGOW and Sport Talk for thinking of us to come here and be a part of this. That's special. It's been going on for years and years, and now you're just taking it to another level. Appreciate you guys being here, and it's always special this time of year to have be a part of this. As far as the game tonight, going into it, we knew they were going to be, one, they were going to be physical, two, they were going to have some speed to match up with us, and we just knew that they were going to be really big. And so I think one of the things that we wanted to try to do is we wanted to, number one, match their physicality. If we can match the physicality of who we're playing, then we feel good about that every time. But then at the same time, we knew that we were going to get going early, and if we could get going early, have some success early, and our defense set the tone. We deferred and kicked to them, and defense just came out like gangbusters and did a great job. So then we get the ball on the first series, and we're feeling good about it because we clip off a good positive run with Josiah, and we're moving the ball. But then we have one of those game one hiccups that we fumble the ball, and you give them some momentum early. It's like, okay, if we can just weather this storm here, we felt like we could get some traction, and we ended up doing that. So I was really proud of our kids of not letting an unfortunate play flip against us, and our kids just rallied behind that and did a great job.
Talk about week one. Obviously, you've had several week ones in your career, but just talk about what that's like. Obviously, a pretty clean game, consider. I think last night there was 50 flags thrown in the game at McMinn County. So just talk about week one, and then going into week two, kind of where you're at. Well,
the thing about week one is you see a little bit of film on your opponent, but you don't see a former coach, a friend of mine, made this statement. There's two of the hardest prep games that you're going to run across is, number one, week one, because you've got not enough film, and then at the end of the season you got too much film, and it can cloud you. So that's the good thing about it. We didn't have too much. We knew they would throw some wrinkles in there and do some things differently, But it was a lot of preparation of our kids understanding where to be, trust the coaching, and just stay with what our game plan was.
You were talking about physical football game, especially up front and stuff like that. I think, just looking at unofficial stats from Gene Henley, I want to thank Gene for sending these to us. I think you guys went over 250 yards rushing, and obviously, you had guys like Featherstone and Merritt who joined us here just a second ago. With the bulk of that, almost 200 yards, I believe, or over 200 yards for each of those guys, or total. So definitely a big game on the ground, but your senior quarterback as well made a couple of great throws in this game as well.
Logan has done a great job. I mean, Logan rolls in and just has picked up where he left off last year. Logan's a smart kid. He understands the offense. He gets it, and having him kind of guide it out there during the game, it's kind of a comfort thing because he's been there and he knows it, and he does a really good job with it.
I'm curious, Coach, when a team like Tyner, late in the game or kind of middle of the fourth quarter, they bring up a backup quarterback and he finds a lot of success, what's the reaction for you? Do you kind of like, oh, crap, we got to figure something out here? Is it on the quarterback or is it just your team? Or what's it like when there's a substitution and you kind of see a difference
you
being
see
made?
A spark. They call it a spark when they put that young man back there. And he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a good football player. But when you see a change like that, the biggest thing, I think the most important thing is for us as coaches not to panic. Because when your kids see you panic, they panic. And so I think Brian Satterfield, our defensive coordinator, did a great job of just sitting in and saying, hey, look, we're not going to panic. Let's settle in. Let's settle in and see what happens on the drive. And they ended up going down and scoring on that drive, which, in a stage of a game, that'll happen, but at the same time, how are we going to respond coming back off of that? We were kind of prepped for a hands team for them to go onside, but they didn't, and they kicked it deep, and we got a little bit of yardage on the return, and then we just kind of started, running the football again, and so I thought we responded well to that. It would have been insignificant to shove one in at the very end like that at the very end, and so we were just trying to run the ball and let's keep it on the ground and just keep playing football.
You were listening to Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics right here on Talk 102.3, joined by Red Bank head football coach Ted Gatewood. And, again, congrats on the win tonight. No rest for the weary. Another tough physical football game is on deck next week. But it's right here at Red Bank Community Stadium against Ray County, so historic rival for the Lions. You're a part of that series, when you played. So kind of talk about, obviously, you're going to enjoy the win tonight. Obviously, opening week is going to be a big one. So, yes. But it's right back to work tomorrow and Sunday. So
it is, and we tell our kids now. One thing we talk to our kids about is like, okay, once you get week one in, you're going to blink and it'll be Christmas. And so you better embrace it and embrace every opportunity you get to be here and be out there and get to play the game. But our kids will come back. We get to work on Sunday and then start getting plan ready for Ray County, who, that's historically Ray County's always a physical, tough football team. And the rivalries go back, a long way.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So, Justin asked Josiah and Oliver this. Was this the toughest, quote, road environment you ever played in tonight?
Yeah, that's ironic. It's weird. Really it was weird that it worked out that way. But, good for Coach. He was
Absolutely.
able to, Tyner, they needed a gate. They got a gate, and I thought it was a pretty good crowd. Coach Maynard and everybody at Tyner is fantastic. They do it professionally, do a great job. And it was great to see two schools work together to kind of, hey, what we got to do to make this go?
And it was packed on both sides, so it's definitely a special night for football, and especially here at Red Bank Community Stadium. And Coach Gatewood, thank you so much for coming down here, taking the time to join us right here on Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics. Good luck next week against Ray County and the rest of the season, all right?
Hey, appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it, Coach Gatewood.
All right, Coach.
Let's throw it back to the studio and take a commercial break. Again, final score from our Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week right here on the Coca-Cola Red Zone. Red Bank 24, Tyner 8.
All right, Jeff and Justin, great job. Thank you to Coach Gatewood for joining us there. 267-1023. You can call or text. Again, redzone.scores.com, where you can find all the updated scores, and that final scoreboard will be put up there. We'll hit another break. We'll hit a final scoreboard here coming up, and then we'll go check in with Jeff and Justin again one more time. This is the Coca-Cola Red Zone, 31 years on the Talk Monster 102.3. We'll head on back to Jeff and Justin here at the Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime. Jeff and Justin, take us home.
All right, guys, appreciate you, and I'm glad you're playing Justin Sims' theme song there, Natalie. Great job. So that's welcome to the crew for sure. Justin, any thoughts on that?
That is my ringtone and also my alarm every morning.
I believe it for sure. Again, this is Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics, right here on the Top Monster 102.3. Final score from our first Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week of the 2024 season. It was Red Bank getting the win over Tyner 24-8. And in case you missed it, we were joined by Josiah Featherstone Olivir Merritt and head coach Ted Gatewood, and two pretty big performances for those two guys, and a 250-plus yard rushing attack for the Lions. So definitely a great start, and they're going to need that and then some when they host Ray County next week. And, just I guess as a programming note, the football's not over, Justin. We have, Howard and Brainerd tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then Baylor's going to be hosting Rabun Gap out of Georgia on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock on ESPN. And we're actually going to be live from Baylor's campus on Sunday from 12 to 1 for countdown to kickoff. So looking forward to doing that. We're going to be joined hopefully by Jim Reynolds and Craig Cecil. They are the broadcast team for the Red Raiders internet stream. Obviously, they're not going to be able to do that with ESPN producing and broadcasting the game, but we'll have kind of the countdown to kickoff pregame show, getting ready for Baylor and Rabun Gap, and for Baylor looking to avenge a loss that Rabun Gap gave them last year, and seeing how they kind of kickstart and their season, looking to get back to the Blue Cross Bowl at Finley Stadium in December. Yeah,
excited about that one. Obviously, the opportunity to kind of see how ESPN works and covers a game, and just the spotlight they're going to put on our area, and excited to see this Red Raiders team. I mean, you talk about the talent, and really until they play, it's kind of unknown potential. I mean, obviously we know what they've got in that Ole Miss commit and Shakai Mills Knight, but we're going to see a whole new team. You got new quarterbacks, you're replacing Amari Jefferson. How's that passing game going to click? It was a catalyst in their run last year, which came up a little bit short, but obviously a very good team, and super excited to see what the Red Raiders have. And obviously, I think that Rabun Gap team is no joke. I think they're a team that's going to have to reload, and I think both teams are, obviously being put on ESPN for a reason, and we know the D1 talent all over Baylor's field. So it's going to be fun, and we're going to be a part of it, and WGOW gets to be a part of it. So super excited just to see what's all about on Sunday.
Again, it's countdown to kickoff, kind of our another edition of Off the Bench, so to speak. So I guess it's going to be kind of something. We're doing this kind of a new thing, a post-game show from our Center for Sports Medicine Game of the Week right here in the Coca-Cola Red Zone, and now we're going to just try to see how that works and kind of experience the atmosphere, because we've been to Baylor McCallie matchups over there at Baylor before. They got a great tailgating scene over there in the quad, so looking forward to kind of seeing the atmosphere there. And again, it's a 1 o'clock kickoff on ESPN, but we'll be on the air from 12 to 1 right here on Talk 102.3 for countdown to kickoff as we get you ready for Baylor and Rabun Gap. But again, if you got nothing to do tomorrow, make plans to go out there and support Brainerd and Howard, and pretty classic rivalry game right there on their own, and pretty good bands in the stands as well. We saw Tyner's walking out, and they set off my loud environment notification, so they're doing something right for sure. So again, final score from our Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week: Red Bank 24, Tyner 8. And
we're going to go back out one more time to the Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime. Jeff and Justin got some closing thoughts for us on this week one here of high school football action. How you guys doing?
Oh, doing good, guys, and just want to say thank you to both you, Kurt, and Natalie for helping kind of keep us between the ditches and kind of getting this Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime format kind of going. I think it's going to be a good thing, like you said, get some good sound from some players and coaches post-game, and looking forward to games that maybe come down to the wire and get a reaction in real time. So looking forward to seeing how this plays out. And again, want to thank Gunnar Miller and his team over at 12 Point Logistics for kind of help us put this on. You can reach them again at 423-2 206-9235 to help get your product moved to your business owner today. So, Justin, any final thoughts that stick out beyond what we saw here in our Center for Sports Medicine North Pitt's Game of the Week? Again, that was a 24-8 Red Bank victory over Tyner. I think both of us are in agreement. I think it's the Grace shutout of Lookout Valley. Grace back to 11-man football this year, and to come out there and set the tone like they did and get a big win, that's definitely a huge win for that community, that school, and just that program. So huge congratulations to the Grace Eagles again with a big victory at Lookout Valley tonight.
Yeah, you can't say enough, man. Much like the team, Tyner, we saw tonight, so much turmoil as far as your facilities and where you're playing and your school. And in that instance, your school is literally destroyed by a natural disaster.
Yep.
You go all the way back to 8-man. You got to cling to even have a team. But then you're out. First year up at 11. You open your season with a big 63-0 win. And congratulations to Grace. And I think the teams that shown tonight, Marion County, big win up in Bledsoe for Bledsoe over Sequatchie. And then, like I said, I think we know what we got with Marion County. Excited to see that team. And those North Georgia games, it may prove to factor in some of our red zone game of the weeks next week, but we'll discuss all that later on. But yeah, just going around, I think a big win here tonight for Red Bank. This is a very good Tyner team that's going to be back, and yeah, that's about all I got for around the area.
Yep, for sure. So, and keep an eye on Bradley County as well. Obviously, Cleveland off to a big win, and for Walker Valley, a big win at Notre Dame. They we're looking to see how they're going to do without their stud Evan Schwartzel, and looks like they're going to be just fine. And make a circle 2 weeks from tonight. Cleveland hosts Walker Valley, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. But again, final score here from our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week, week number 1 of year 31 of the Coca-Cola Red Zone. Red Bank 24, Tyner 8, and this has been the first edition of Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics. So, Justin, thank you for your effort, and Natalie and Kurt, I think it's going to be a great year. You guys did a great job, and we had some rust here week 1, and cramps. We had the pickle juice and the mustard going out,
right.
But we're ready to rock and roll, and it's going to be a fun season. We're looking forward to what's going to happen beyond week number 1 this year. So it's going to be a fun year for sure.
Absolutely, Jeff, Justin, you guys did a great job again at the Jeff Cate, at JL Simsey on Twitter there, and